In this session, we are going to look at transformation flows. So let's see what is transformation flow. I'll jump to the Excel. So transformation flow load data from one or more sources and persist the result in target table. So you can load data from any of the source tables and we can persist that into a table in Datasphere. This integration entity can detect delta changes when reading data from local table, which is enabled for delta. Suppose if you have enabled any table for delta changes, like if any if any new record is created or changed, only changes will be loaded into that table. So that like it can detect and detect the delta changes in the table and it can read. Then these transformation flows are useful in scenarios when utilizing replication flows for premium outbounding integration. So basically, replication flows, they can access local tables which are data enabled, uh, like that are updated by transformation flows, and they can transfer the records to like outbound layers, in delta mode. So yeah, you can using this transformation flows, we can load data from delta enabled tables and we can load only changes into the table which we persisted in Datasphere. So let's see in the system how this works. So today I am in my Datasphere trial version. If you see, this is trial version because the reason why I logged into trial version is in my previous sessions, whatever the system I had, we have not created any delta enabled tables. We have created some tables like sales transaction, store, dimension, and sales manager, and some other tables which are not delta enabled. To show the transformation flows, I need to show you the delta changes and all that. So I need a table where it is delta enabled and it's capturing all the changes. So in the trial version, SAP has given one of the delta enabled table. So I'm going to use that. So what I did is I have created same like tables and views analytical model which we created in the previous system and kept it ready. So in this session, we will see how to access that delta enabled table. So I'm going to click on transformation flow and create. So once you click on transformation flow, you get these nodes: view transformation and target. Let's minimize this left side control panel. We are in transformation flow properties. Let's click on view transform. So what you see, two options: SQL view transform, graphical view transform. Either you can do any one of these. So here also you're getting the same options: graphical view transform and SQL view transform. Let's click on target this time. You see, create a new target table. As I said, we can read the data. Transformation flow can read the data from delta enabled table and it can read those delta changes. We persist that in a table so that in this table we'll be getting all the delta related changes. Okay, let's click on view transform and click on graphical view transform. You see, when we click on graphical view transform, we are in graphical view editor and it's giving a node. So what I will do here, as I said, SAP has given one delta enabled table in the style version. We are going to use that delta enabled table, and where we can see, if you come down, if you scroll down, there is something called Ticket 2024 sales transaction. And you can see for all these tables, there is share symbol. That means these are shared tables. They are shared with my space. If you see in the trial version, if I go, let's cancel this. Let's copy this duplicate this session. I'll show you there. What is mean by shared tables? Like, in Datasphere, I think if you see in my first sessions about the space, I have told you how to create spaces in Datasphere, and we can create like multiple spaces and assign the user to those spaces. Suppose if I have, like if I don't have access to any other space, I cannot see all the tables created in that space. Discard this and go back. Click on space management. Let's go back to space management here. You see, this is the space I have in the trial version. And what SAP did is they have created a table which is delta enabled in another space. That we can see here by clicking on show info. You see that this is the technical name of the table. Semantic usage is relational data set. Type is local table. It's deployed, saved to my space from where, and it's created or changed by. See, this is created in central underscore data, a space created in the data sphere, and in that space they have created this table, and they have shared the table with my space. Okay, and this is the location. So when they shared this table, I can see that, like I can view the data in that, and I can utilize that table in my objects. Okay, and if you don't know like how to share a table, like when we have multiple spaces and all, I have I have explained all these things in the security area. If you see the below classes, you will see one section called security, where I have explained completely about the security area, roles, like scope roles, how to create spaces, and how to assign like that spaces to scope roles. And I have created another new user there, and I have created two spaces. I have saved table from one space to other space, and I have accessed that saved table. All these things I have shown in security here. You can directly watch that because that is not dependent on any of the previous sessions. So yeah, now let's do one thing. We utilize this table which is delta enabled in our flow, like if in our graphical. So let's drag this onto view transformation. Remember, we are in graphical view editor. Okay, let's bring that to center. And before that, I want you see here it is these local table properties: business name, technical name, alias name. This is in central underscore data space, not in our local space, and that is saved to our local space. And it is delta capture. It's delta enabled. And you see, if you come down, there are two options: delta settings, load from table, delta capture, all active records. So if you go down, it's like if you, I'm saying to capture the delta records. If you see when the delta capture is enabled, you get two uh, columns: change type, change date. When delta is enabled, you'll get this. Let's see if I select all active records, what happens. You see those columns are gone. So these columns are mainly for delta purpose. So delta capture will be happen based on this. Okay, and you cannot map these two columns in the target to any other other columns. They have to be mapped to same. And even if you created some calculated measures by using these, even those things will not be mapped to some other columns in the target. Okay. Now let's see what data is available here. Click on data viewer. You see, I think it has 123,000 records, and so these are all the columns available. You see change date and change type. Let's do one thing. Click on, sorry. move above. Click on data preview. Okay. Let's do one thing. Let's see transaction date here. I'll add, sort this in descending order and see. So here I can see the transaction date 23. I think we have latest data also here. Even December data is there. But anyway, yeah, you can see here latest data is available till December 18th. I think this table, they will update regularly, because I have checked, I think 2-3 days back, data was not available for 18th. Today is 23rd. So 18th, I think delta will be updated in this table. Okay, now I want to show one more thing here. You see here store ID is USST11, USST159, all these things. Let's do one thing. I want to take only, I don't want my prefix US. I want only store ID ST11. So what we can do, you have different options again here. These are like not normally available when we access the table also. So let's do one thing. Let's create a calculated column. So here I want to see the store ID without US. Like I don't want the prefix US. So what I will do is click on this and click on calculated column. So your expression editor will open. I'm gonna name this as store underscore ID. It's a string. I'll take length as 6. So I want only I don't want prefix first 2 characters. Rest I want. So let's do one thing. What options are? Let's say sub. See, there are 3 options for substring. Substring before, substring after, or substring if you want anything in between. Now I want substring after US. Like we don't want US, so I'll select this, and the column which I am performing this is store ID. If you remember, you can type, or if you come to columns, you can select that, and comma. I don't want, like, let's say in colon, I don't want US, substring after US I want. So yeah, let's validate this and see if there are any errors. No, there are no errors. I think this is fine. Now click on somewhere else. Okay. Let's come to view transformation node. Okay, you see here store ID is there, which is original column, and I have created some calculated column. So let's see, let's bring that to beginning. Or else you can see here store ID at the end, ST185, ST57, ST. So now I'm not getting US in this calculated column. Okay. So once you are done with your graphical view editor, you know, in the output, you can see all the columns properly. Then what you can do is you just go back. So now you'll come back again to transformation flow. Okay, just click on somewhere. It will show you the, yeah. Now it reflected transformation flow properties. You can give some name. Let's say EF underscore sales transactions. Okay, and here you have options like initial only and initial and delta. Okay. So let's do initial and delta. That means it will set a pointer and it will also load the data and set a pointer and it will be ready for delta capture. Okay. So now I have my view transformation table and let's click on the target. Here you have to create a table. So create a new table. Click on create new table button below. To use an existing table as target table, you can drag and suppose if you have any table already created, you can drag that and drop also. Since I want to collect this into new table, let's click on create new table and I'll say this as new say, delta. Otherwise, I'll say sales transactions PLT. Okay, and here delta capture is on. You see, delta capture table name will add delta 2 times. So let's say I'll remove this new underscore. So it will say delta capture name new sales transaction delta. And yeah, I'm okay with all the columns. So let's save and deploy this. I want to show one more thing. Let's go back. Let's click on somewhere else to open the transformation flow. So I have already given name. Okay, and set the load type to initial and delta. That's fine. Then save it. I'm gonna save this as. So we are creating sales transformation flow and also the table new sales transaction which we created for delta capture. Save this. Now my transformation flow is saved. Let's deploy this. Now I want to go back and see my tables. Let's go to data builder. I've created these in GitHub folder. So you can see here sales transformation flow is created and also there should be one more table new sales transaction. Let's go to the new sales transaction table. So you see this is delta capture because we created few transformation flows and enabled delta. So this is how the table is created and you see my calculated column is available. So these are all same other properties which we have seen while creating tables. We don't have any data as of now because we created the transformation flow, but we did not run that. Now let's go back, open the transformation flow. So we saved and deployed this transformation flow. Let it open. Just minimize the left side control panel. And here, after save, deploy, you have something called run. Or you can see here run status. You have option to refresh, you have option to schedule, you have option to transformation flow monitor. So let's run this transformation flow so that what happens, you have a table which captures delta And what you did is in the graph view editor, you created a calculated column, and then uh, all that view is again transferring and storing into this table which we created. So let's click on somewhere, go back to transformation flow, and let's start the run. Preparing the started, you can go to monitor here. So when you click on monitor, it will come into again data integration monitor here. See here you can see, you see it has already completed. And here you can see like again, if you want to run, you can run. You can schedule this transformation flow, refresh. You can go back to data builder. Status is completed, schedule it's not scheduled, that's why no options here. And then run. Let's click on this. We're already here. So there are two things, messages and metrics. So these are basically logs. Task is started, transformation started, preparing transform data, reading data from view transform operation, writing into target table. You see 123,000 records written into. We have seen these are the same number of records which we have in our delta enable table. Finalizing has finished with status completed. So it's completed. Now let's go down to metric section. Load type, initial and delta. We are initializing and loading the like setting the delta methods. Then truncate, it's false because we are not truncating when we load next time. We have to capture the delta records. Stack size is 1. Execution mode, it is 0. And I think it is about settings we have right here. Performance optimized, I think. We'll see that. Load unit target is remote access false. Number of records instructed. These are the different options available here. Now let's go into delta capture setting. Let's maximize this. Here you see a timestamp here, watermark. Central dot data, which is a central underscore data space. And here it is the delta capture table for that table which we used. So here you can see 24th December, sorry, 20, December 23rd, 2024, 3:20. Here, let's see what is the date. Date is same, but I think this is UTC time. Let's do one thing. Let's check what is the UTC time now. 3:22. Let's go. Yeah, I think we run at 3:20. So this is the like delta pointer. So we have run this load at this time. When we run next time again, it will check in the table. Okay, from this time, any new records have come or changed records have come. It will check and only load those new or changed delta records. So this is a like delta pointer for us. Okay, so that's what under delta capture settings. You have option to reset watermark. Let's click on that. You see, if you reset the watermark, the system will transfer all data to target table next time transformation flow runs. It's asking. So what it is saying is, suppose if you reset again, so what happens is your pointer will be deleted, and when you run again, it's going to fetch complete data again. Like again, it will fetch and it will add to table and then set the delta pointer. So it will be duplicate. If you want to delete delta pointer completely and then load again, then you can do that. And then let's go to settings. I think this is HANA execution modes. Let's see, or run mode. So let's do one thing. Let's change this to memory optimized. And now I want to run again and see whether uh, data comes again or not. So let's click on run. You see the run started running. Let's wait. Completed. Just refresh. This is the one 854 we ran. You see number of records 0 because no records created or changed in between this time. Remote access for same thing. You see, execution mode is now changed to 0 because we changed, sorry, 1. We changed from performance optimized to memory optimized. So that is execution mode or run mode. And same thing, like you can see 0 record written to the target table because we don't have any delta in the table. We already loaded and there were no changes performed or new records inserted. Let's go back and see delta capture settings. Three 24. Will it change or yeah, I think you see the watermark is changed because previously it was something else, and then when we run this job at, I think, see, this is local time, this is UTC time, 3:24, 8:54 we start, that means 3:24. Now let's say it is 8:55, that means it has to be changed to 3:25 something. Let's run again this time and see. Start running and check here, and it will also give message once it is completed. Let's see and refresh what happens. This 3:24 is there. You see 3:26. I think we ran at 3. So when you run at this point of time, it checks from previous 3:24 and 3:26. In between this time, if any records created, that will be loaded. But here we got 0. That's what the delta capture here. Now let's say I think this table will be updated regular basis. We have seen latest data was available till December 18th, but I think it will be updated in a central data space. So what we can do is we can schedule this transformation flow by clicking on create schedule. Let's say enter a simple schedule, and I want to schedule it daily, every day. Let's say at I'll set 12. Click on OK. I'll set 12 a.m. CET. Yes, yeah, 12 on every day, and start date 23rd today. Let's do this till end of the year, and this runs in UTC time, UTC 12. Okay, so let's click on create. And one more thing I want to show you. Go to edit schedule. Here it will tell you like you have option like to pause the schedule. If you don't want to run, you can click on this, and next runs when it will. So I think 12 afternoon we scheduled. Today is still 3:28, I think. So it will run on 23rd, 12, 24, 12. It will show you next runs because we schedule it daily. Let's save this. So that's for the transformation flow. Now we have a table which captures delta whenever this transformation runs. Let's wait. So here we have a table which is new sales on this new sales transaction, which we have seen in the data builder. Go to data builder, which has now I think 123,000 records. Let's go to GitHub folder. So here new sales transaction is created on today. Which is delta capture enabled. Now I can see the data here. Maximize this. So this descending. Latest data available till 18th. So it will be, we have scheduled a transformation for daily once. Whenever there is a change in that other table, delta capture table, the whenever transformation flow runs, all those changes will be updated here. So this is delta enable table. Now, if you remember, we have created a graphical view based on our local tables, which are not delta enabled. This one, sales fact view, which we created using sales transaction table. Let it open. Bring this to center. You see here, this view which we created in the previous sessions. If you click this, and this table is sales transaction table, which is not delta capture. So what we can do is, because this table will not get updated, either we have to load completely and all. But now we have a table, which gets all the delta changes whenever the transformation flow runs. So what we do is we can either copy this like uh, graphical view and create a new view, or we can also edit this. Let's edit this. We replace this sales transaction table with our new sales transaction. Let's drag that. You'll have options like this whole that you have options to union, join, and replace. What I'll do is I'll replace that. Sorry, let's go back. Bring that. Let's reach. Click on replace. Let me refresh. I think it's got stuck. I'm gonna replace the sales transaction table with our new table, which is delta capture enable. Bring that to center. Go to GitHub folder where we have new table. Drag this onto replace. So it'll ask you to map, because this is our old transaction table. Now we are replacing that with new transaction. So you have to map. So drag and drop. Transform transaction date. Store ID, you see, in new transaction table, we have two. Store ID, which is coming from that central underscore data space, which has, I think, US is prefixed, but we have created a new calculated column and we removed that prefix US. So now it's mapped correctly. You can map, but you need to have the same characters to this one if you want to map. Product ID, sales manager ID, profit, discount, revenue, cost. So replace. Click on replace. Now you see here, this is a table which we have, and let's go here. See, I see only one store ID because we did not map one, and which is coming is small store ID. The name, if you see. Okay. So now there are warnings. Transaction rate type change from integer 4 to integer, and this is a warning. Just save this. save anyway. And deploy this. Ignore the warnings. Now we have a table which is capturing delta whenever the transformation flow runs and getting updated. So our view also, we get the latest data, like if there are any changes, we can see till like complete data. Let's click on data viewer. Let's just click on descending. You see the latest date is December 18th. So that's how you can get the latest data. And now our analytical model, which is created using this uh, like this one also get latest data, and your report in SAC which you created using that analytical model will have a latest data. Let's do one thing. Let's create uh, yeah, even if you create the same, like if you want to create analytical model, you can click on this and you can create new analytical model. Now our sales fact graphical view is getting data from the delta table. So what I'll do, I'll keep it as new analytical model itself name, and I'll just save this one also and apply. I'm gonna give this as new analytical model. Save this. Deploy this. Now what I want to do is I have created uh, some reports in SAC. If you remember, when we created analytical view, we consumed that in SAC and we created some reports. So what we are going to do is we are going to replace the analytical model with new analytical model in the same report and see. So now my new analytical model is deployed. Let's switch to SAC. I think I have created the reports in this trial version also. Let's do replace of the model and see. What we do is we copy existing story and create a new story, and in that new story we'll replace the analytical models. Now I am in SSC. Let's go to stories, and I have this, see, revenue per products, graphic revenue distribution, which I have created in the previous session. Let's uh, do one thing, open this one. Let's go back one second, or go to files. Go to our folder GitHub we created here. So I want to copy first. So what I'll do is select this, I'll copy. I'm gonna name this as new sales revenue analysis product. I'll copy. I'm gonna open this. So this is my report. Let's go to edit. I think here we don't have any data, or if you want to see, you see this is old model. Okay, which is sales analytical model. Now I want to I want to replace. So you have option. Yeah, here you have under tools. Sometimes you also see that in more. So this is my old view. I want to replace that with new analytical model. Let's click on replace. It's a warning. Replacing model will impact story settings because if it is completely new model with different like columns and all, then it will impact. But in our case, I think we have similar model. Continue. Select the other model under Datasphere. This is my folder on GitHub. I want to select this time new sales analytical model. Okay. So we are replacing the old analytical model with new one. So it will ask replace the model and it will give the mappings. So you see here this member measure is already mapped correctly. Product ID is mapped correctly. Category is fine. Transaction date is fine. So all are already like okay, looks okay. So my mappings looks okay. Review. When you click on review, it will show mapping issues, no issues found, and some other options. So replace the model. Now click on somewhere or click on this chart and open the right side panel if you want. Left side panel, you will see all the chart and all. Suppose this I want to see you see here it is new analytical model, but here I don't see any data because uh, in measures I have revenue transaction date. Let's go to filter by member. So you see, I think I have created a filter uh, on 2022. So maybe that's why it's not showing. We don't have any data, I think. For that, let's remove this filter and let's select. Oh, we only have data for 2024. Let's select 2024. Click on OK. You see now the data is available. I think we have created for top 10 revenue generating products. Yeah. So and below you can see the line chart which shows quarter 3 and quarter 4. Suppose if you want to drill down further, because this is transaction date, we have hierarchies available. You can click on any of the data pointer. Sorry, I think we should get option. Okay, I think I already drilled down based on quarter. So yeah, let's go to hierarchy. If you want to see further levels, the Q3, Q4, and then you have this September from like month level we drill down like September, October, November, December, and if you want further you can go down like let's see. I think it is showing now September 23, September date or date wise. So let's keep this as only level 4 month wise you can see. So now we replaced our model in the story and we have like we have seen how to. So in this session we have seen how to create a transformation flow, and we can update the delta records into a new table which you created, and based on that new table we created graphical view, and based on that we have created analytical model, and we have seen how to replace a old analytical model with a new one which shows the latest data. Okay, so whenever you come back now, like after some days, your transformation flow is running, so it will be keep adding the delta records in the table, and from that table we have created view, and that view we have created an analytical model, And we have used that analytical model in this report. So when you refresh, you will be seeing all the latest data. Okay, latest transaction product in the system. So that's about transformation flows, and I hope you understood how to use transformation flows. Yeah, that's it for this session. I'll see you in the next session. Thank you.